there were portions of every project I was working on that survived. I mean, recognizable. You know, the more unfortunate reality was when they decided on a private single-hand fella to come work on the space and called me and said, go work with him. I went to try to talk to him, and he was really busy, and he couldn't work with me, and I couldn't show him my space, and I pulled a massive amount of things. I had family silver, like forks and things that I had woven into this Katrina homage piece, and he bulldozed it all over. So huge amount of things survive, and the best story that I have about what survived was at the entranceway to my space. I didn't have a door. It was open. There was a little rubber bat and a little rubber plastic wings, and I would always say, you just give me a call if somebody's messing with my space, and I'd be like, all right, I'm leaving, you know, and I would check in and out with a bat, and walking around right there, the rubber bat was laying there. He survived the entire fire, and he was laying there, and I was like, thank you for looking out for everything, and I had a whole file cabinet of all my resume and everything, and all of that survived. And so, unfortunately, the rubber bat went away with the bulldozer, and the file cabinet with so many things that survived but didn't survive, but pieces of my dad's carvings and things survive. And, you know, it kind of leads to another answer to another question, which is what happened, what I do, what am I doing now? And I just loaded up as much as I could in my truck that was partially burned and shipped it over to my studio in my basement. So right now I'm working out in my basement. But I guess, I don't know, for me, the whole Lava House sequence happened on a psychological level, and there was a concept to it, which is when I started realizing I had problems at Lava House, and there were people who I felt tensions with, and they feel like they were aggressive to me, and I couldn't work anymore. I started pulling artwork out and taking it to my house, and then I was really sick over the winter, so I pulled even more artwork out and put it in my home. And I kept trying to say, when am I going to take all this out of my hallway and take it back to my studio? So all my newer pieces were actually in my home. There's a huge amount, like all my animal totems survived. All the newest pieces of wood that I painted on and found images within the surreal imagery, all that was in my home. So a huge amount of work survived for me, and I felt more, you know, Bart that night was just saying, I'm so sorry, and I was like, no. I said, I'm okay. I just feel bad for you and your family, and I just understand what this is going to mean later. I said, my stuff is just burnt up, and it's stuff, and, you know, I mean, I had two sewing machines and stuff, but it's nothing like losing everything you have. So an amazing amount of my things survived. I'm thankful. Yeah, I know. It's miraculous, quite honestly. I mean, first off, to see the little bat and be like, thanks for holding down the fort, man, you know, because it was just laying there. I'm like, how does a rubber bat not burn when you have explosions that can be seen from a satellite? You know, he just wasn't going anywhere.
Do they have that on satellite?
The what?
Do they have that?
I'm sure you could go to some kind of like Google map or whatever that is.
Yeah.
And you could request for the photos from that day, and you could look at them, and you would see the fire from satellite.
That would be scary awesome.
That's just your next mission, isn't it?
What do you miss the most?
Being able to go into a wide open, huge space and just let my energy relax and walk around freely. And the courtyard was a real important place for me because of the greenery in the summer. It got so lush and green that I could go pull a big painting out and put it on a wall and just paint huge, you know. I mean, it was just the way that I talked with myself about certain things. I mean, there was a triptych I was working on. It was 12 foot long, and it was about my father's internment in prison and how when he got out he could cross this bridge, and you know, it was very symbolic. And the whole thing is gone, of course, but I love the fact that it wasn't a place that had anything to do with time, and I miss my disconnecting from the time clock and society's perception of me, and I could just be like, fuck off. And that's what, you know, the Lava House represented, was my ability to go in and ignore everyone and everything. And if it took 3 hours to lay on the floor or to sit on a couch or to take a nap or eat some food, I would be ready to be creative in that space. And I had 40 foot by, 20 foot, excuse me. There's experts who tell me I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. It felt like 40 foot of, the depth in my emotion, in my space. Psychology is 40 feet. And length, I could roll something out that was 100 foot long and be working on it. I had murals that were rolled up on paper, and I could roll them the entire length of the Lava House and work on them. That's what I miss. I mean, I miss the people, but people are come and go anyhow. I mean, their emotions change and their agendas change, and I don't miss, the ups and downs that go with just trying to be free. I just want to be free.
How were you affected most?
By the fire?